September 25th, 2012. That's why I kept trying to say 12. Another direct-to-disc was Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. At the time I'm filming this, I've actually seen Part 1 and 2. I can say to you that Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1, an animated adaptation of the graphic novel The Dark Knight Returns, nothing to do with the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, except for that Christopher Nolan did take a lot of material from the graphic novel The Dark Knight Returns. I thought the first part was entertaining and a faithful adaptation. The female Robin, Carrie, I always forget her last name. Carrie is her first name. Is just as good in the animated as I think she's actually better in the animated than in the graphic novel, just because they seem, I don't know, maybe it's just because she has a voice and is animated, she seems to be more fleshed out. In the book, it kind of just seemed like she was thrown in so there could be a Robin. I'd say pick it up. I believe it's PG-13. A lot of retail stores are putting it in the family section. They're stupid for doing so, especially when you get to Part 2. But Part 2 did not come out in 2012, I don't believe. Let's see. Nothing came out in October for me. At least nothing. Well, I should say, I didn't see anything in October. Any movies that had come out in October. November, Skyfall, the new 007 James Bond movie, came out. Actually saw it over the week of Christmas with my parents. I hadn't seen the two previous Daniel Craig movies, but I don't think I needed to. I thought it was good. I'll be honest, I hadn't seen any. I haven't seen a whole lot of the 007 movies just in general, but the last one I saw was like the second or third one with Pierce Brosnan, and I haven't seen any since then. I'd put this one up there with GoldenEye, and I thought GoldenEye was Pierce Brosnan's best one. So, of the two or three of them I saw, but GoldenEye also has a special place in my heart because the old Nintendo 64 game. But, alright, December. Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. Part 1 of the book broken into 3 movies. I didn't get to see it until actually February 2013. I had to drive to Ozark/Nixa, Missouri. It's kind of a little theater on the border there. Because I wanted to see it in the way it was filmed, the HFR 3D. And let me tell you, the HFR 3D is amazing. Normal 3D, it takes me most of the movie to get my eyes to adjust. With the HFR, my eyes adjusted like 5 minutes in. And the time it took to adjust my eyes, I was grateful that it took a little time, because I thought there was a bit of extra length added to the movie, kind of artificially, with the stuff with Frodo at the beginning, and Bilbo telling Frodo about his story, how he's writing the story and he's preparing for the party that you see in Lord of the Rings Fellowship at the very beginning. So I know they added that to tie it into the Lord of the Rings movie for people who maybe didn't quite understand where it was placed in the continuity, but I thought it was a little extraneous, but at the same time, it gave me time to get my oohing and eyeing out of the way over the HFR 3D. What can I say? It was a good movie. Obviously it's adapted from a children's book, so it's a little goofier than the Lord of the Rings movies, but that's okay because the action made up for it. And the HFR 3D was amazing. One scene that I particularly liked was the mountains where the giants were hurling the big rocks at each other. I thought that in the HFR, that scene really shined because you could see the detail of the close-ups of the rock of the giants, but at the same time it wasn't too detailed so as to take you out of the scene. Let's see. Also, on Christmas Day, Django Unchained came out. I didn't get to see it till after the New Year, but I did enjoy this one. I think it's one of the best ones I've seen Tarantino do. I think I will say I could see some people being pretty uncomfortable with some of the language used in it, but it's the same reason why I look at it the same way I look at Disney's movie Song of the South. Yes, we might be uncomfortable with it today, but historically it's accurate with the language and the perceptions. I don't think we should shy away from the history just because it makes us uncomfortable. I don't think that the language of the times was used in any way to make the movie more edgy or any kind of artificial way to make it stand out. I think it was used properly for the time. Maybe I'm wrong. I have a friend that's the history guy. I'm not the history guy, but to me it seemed appropriate.